I'm Rose. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, that is Standard 5 Science, Chapter 2, Animals World. That is Animal World. As we know, there are different kinds of animals live in different regions, or we can say different environments or different surroundings, like we can say forests, rivers, oceans, mountains, or we can say snowy place, or we can say in our home itself. So the animals that live, that means the surroundings in which animals live or survive is called the habitat. The place where the animals or the particular area where the animals live or survive is called the habitat. So as we know that different kinds of animals live in different regions. As I have told, some live in the forest, some live in the rivers, some live in the ocean, some live in the mountains, some live in the snowy place, some live in our home itself. So, and these all animals have different physical features. That means the body covering, or we can say the body are made up of different kinds of outer covering, are made up of different kinds of things. Okay, for example, some animals are so much small. Like we can say the amoeba. Amoeba is a animals, or we can say singular animal, animal which is very small and tiny, and which can be seen according with the help of the microscope. Okay, these animals can only be seen, or we can say another animals like we can say bacteria, virus, yeast. These are the animals which can be seen with the help of microscope. Another, if you talk about the blue whale. Blue whale is the largest animal in the world, and it is we can say it is so much large, and it can be found only. This is one kind of mammal which can be found only in water. Okay, so some are so much we can say so much small, some are so much big, some are so much in the medium size. Okay, so there are different kinds of animals and they have different physical features. Okay, so these physical features, or we can say the outer covering of the body, what does it happen? It protects them from the harmful animals, or we can say from prey, or from another, like we can say cold or other animals. Okay, so these all things have done from that. Okay, for example, if you talk about the snail, tartar, they have the outer covering as a hard shell. They have the outer covering as a hard shell, and this protects them from the injuries and the prey, or we can say enemies from the animals. Another, if you talk about the fishes, and this outer covering is called the shell. This outer covering is called the shell. That means the hard part of the snail, if you talk about, and the turtle, the outer covering, this one. Okay, this is called the shell, and this all protect them from the injuries and the external animals or the danger animal. Another, if you talk, another example is the fish and the reptiles like snake, lizard. Okay, they have their body is covered with the scales. Their body is covered with the scales. Okay, so this covering of the scales, what is that? It helps them to crawl, or we can say it helps them to swim, or we can say it helps them from the external injuries and the danger. Okay, another example, if you talk about the birds. Birds have their feathers, yes or no, and the fur on their body. Yes or no, you can see the different kinds of birds. Yes or no, some are herbivore, you can see in your environment, it's in your surrounding itself. Sparrow you can see, crow you can see in your environment. There are different types of birds you can find. Okay, and their body is covered with the feathers. The body is covered with the feathers, and these feathers help them to protect them from the cold, or we can say keep them warm, and also help them to fly. Like that, help them to fly. Okay, so this is the work of the feathers. Okay, another, if you talk about some of the mammals, like we humans, and also the other mammals, like you can say lion, tiger, elephant. Then you have the different, like we say polar bear. Then you have the sheep. Their all bodies are covered with the hairs. Yes. So this body, some of the body, like the animals which live in the cold region, like except penguin, polar bear, sheep. This, what happened? They have the thick hair, which is called the fur. So this fur, what does it? It protects them from the extreme cold. That means the cold winds which blow during the winter. winter, it protects them from the cold weather. Okay, so that is called the fur, and this the birds which have, that is called the feathers. So these are the different physical features of the bird, physical features that different animals have. The different physical features, like you can say the snails and the turtle have the shell, then fish and the reptiles have the scales on the body, birds have the feathers on the body, then animals like you can say mammals, different lion, tiger, they have the hair all over their body, and some of the we can say special animal like animals which live in the cold region, like you say polar bear, then you have the wolves, some of the wolves, then you have the sheep. These have the thick hair which is called the fur. This protect them from the cold wind. So different animals have different eating habits or the feeding habits. Okay, so last topic we discussed about the body covering in animals. Now we are going to discuss the feeding habit. That means, as we know, different animals have different physical features. They live in different area or the different regions, and they eat different foods. For example, here some of the important I will discuss here. The animals which eat only plants are called the herbivores. Herbi means we can say plant or the grass. And vorous means animal. That means animals which eat only plants are called the herbivorous animal. Okay, for example, cow, goat, then you have the sheep. These are the animals which eat only plants on the grass, and they have a sharp incisors which help them to cut and bite, and the flat molars which help them to grind. So here are some of the teeth I have just drawn here. Figure. As we know, in our mouth we have different kinds of teeth. Yes, we have four pairs of teeth. That is called the incisors in the front, and then the side we have the canines which help us to tear. Another is the premolars. Okay, which help us to grind the food, and the molars which help them to grind properly in a manual part and which swallow it. Okay, so these are the structure of teeth which I have drawn here. So I will talk about the herbivorous animals have the strong incisors. Incisors means that we got the strong teeth, the frontal teeth, and which help them to cut and bite the grass or the plants of any animal. Okay, sorry. So this help them to cut and the molars, that means this one, the flat. It has very flat molars they have, which help them to grind the food, because they eat the food when they cut and bite any grass. They take it like you can say in a row. Because of that, when they eat it, after that when they get rest, they grind the food and it goes into the stomach. Okay. Another, if we talk, the animals which eat only flesh of other animals are called the carnivore. Here, if we talk about the carnivore means flesh. Carne means flesh, and vorous means animal. Okay, so the animals which eat only flesh of other animals are called the carnivorous animal. Example, you have the lion, tiger, wolf, then you have the eagle. These are the animals which eat flesh of other animals. That means they depend on other animals. Okay, and if you talk about the teeth, the structure of teeth, if you talk about, they have the sharp canines. That means this one. They have the sharp canines which help them to tear the flesh, and the strong molars, which help them to grind the flesh. That means when they tear the food or the flesh of other animals, there should be a tough molar so that they can grind it properly and they can swallow it. Okay, so this is how the structure and how the adaptation of the teeth are being formed in the animals. Okay, another, if you talk about the eagle has some speciality. If you talk about, you can see it has the strong claws. Claws means the leg which you see in any birds. They have very sharp claws and the hook beak. That means you can see the pointed part of the eagle. If you talk about this type of beak, you can and they can eat it properly. Okay, so these are the this is how the animals are adapted and they eat different kinds of food. Another, if we talk about the animals which eat both plants and animals are called the omnivore. Okay, there are also the animals which eat both plants and animals. They are called the omnivore. We humans are omnivore. For example, humans, bear, duck. These are the animals which eat both plants and animals. In order to breathe, animals breathe through for survival of animals. We have to breathe. We can say animals also breathe. Okay, so there are different kinds of organs through which they breathe. The different animals have different organs and they breathe through. They breathe in for the survival of their life. Okay, so taking of CO2, that means oxygen, and giving out CO2, that is carbon dioxide, is called the breathing. That means we take the oxygen and we take out the carbon dioxide from our body. That is called the breathing. That means this air also needed for our body for the survival of our life or any animal which live on earth. Okay, so for example, we have some of the example I have given. Mammals, birds and reptiles breathe through lungs. Okay, for example, mammals, we have the mammals are the animals which give birth to the young ones. For example, we humans, then cow, herbivorous animal, carnivorous animals. What we call some of the carnivorous animals, they give birth to the young ones. They doesn't lay egg. Okay, so they are called the mammals. Then you have the birds. Birds are the reptiles. Okay, so these are the animals which breathe through lungs. That means they breathe in the oxygen and give out the carbon dioxide for the survival of their life. Another is called the what they use when they breathe. They use the two lungs. That means when we breathe in, we have the two lungs. Okay, and which is connected to our nostril. That means nostril means we have the nose. Yes or no? That is called the nostril. Okay, so we breathe through the nose and this air goes to the lungs where the purification of air happens or the blood happens. Okay, so where the CO2 goes and the CO2 comes out through the nasal again. Okay, so this is what happens when we breathe. Okay, another is called the earthworm. What does it use for breathing? You see, earthworm use the moist skin. That means they use the skin. That means on the top they have the small pores through which they breathe in. Okay, that means they breathe the skin through the moist skin. And frog, if you talk about frog, have two ways. That means if you talk about when they are tadpole, when they are small, they we can say these frogs are also called the amphibians. They are also called the amphibians. Why they are called the amphibians? Because they live on both land and water. Land and water. Due to that, they are called the amphibians. They are called the amphibians. So when they are on land, they breathe through the lungs. They breathe through the lungs. But when they are in water, they breathe through the skin. They breathe through the skin. So that is why they are called the amphibians. Okay. Another is called the insects. Some insects also breathe. Okay. So what are the organs they use for the breathing? This insect have, for example, if you talk about the cockroach. Okay. If you talk about the cockroach or the ants or the grasshopper or any insect, they have the small holes or the small holes which is called the spiracles. Okay. So this air enters through the spiracles and transfers to all part of the body through a small tube which is called the breathing tube. Okay. Here I know one of the important structure of the grasshopper. One of the animals, that is the cockroach. It has 6 legs. You can see, and the body structures are segmented. That means it is divided into 3. And they have the small